What's up, everybody? I am back. Got my coffee, as always. Today, going a little bit heavier, checking out Diamond Construct. I'm not exactly sure what drew me to this band. I think maybe I saw them, I recommended as a for fans of for somebody else I listened to. I haven't really dug in. I downloaded an album, haven't really dug into it yet. So this is pretty much clean as far as my knowledge of the song goes. It is going to likely be very heavy for those of you who are not so inclined. Just be warned. A couple things before we get started. Please bear in mind, I'm not a professional. I'm not an audio tech. I'm not a vocal coach. I'm not going to be getting into those sorts of weeds. And don't be a dick. I try to keep my reviews thoughtful and objective as much as I can. And I would just appreciate it if the comments could remain a good place to visit. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. This is Death Party by Diamond Construct.
Dance on the floor, show me more. What you waiting for? Break it to the beat and repeat. We don't fucking sleep. Dance on the floor, show me more. What you waiting for? Break it to the beat and repeat. We don't fucking sleep.
Alright. I'm sold. I'm sold so far. Okay, look, with stuff like this, lyrics are sometimes difficult to parse. They often require a little reading to track with that much noise. But I like the chorus. Chorus is fucking catchy. Musically, so I feel like they remind me of a few, not remind me, maybe are inspired by, or feel to me like they've been inspired by Underoath, for one thing, with all of the electronic, like early Underoath, right? Some like Limp Bizkit, new metal. I'm noticing new metal is really coming back. I am not opposed to it. I like some new metal. I wasn't really paying attention the first time it hit, but I have always liked rap. I've always liked trap and that sort of aggressive style of vocal delivery. So I think it mashes up really well with rock, with metal. So I've never been opposed to it, but it wasn't very popular. It wasn't very cool for a while. Limp Bizkit kind of burned some bridges, and it's back. And so you've got turntables again. You've got the electronic interference. You've seen like trap beats and stuff, electronic drums. That's been around for a little while, but we're kind of pushing that more aggressively. It looks like. I liked the way you could, they had the shots of the guy messing with his various pedals, turning stuff on. Reminds me a little bit of 1-800-PAIN, for those of you who are familiar. Again, lyrically, I have no idea, don't know where these guys are, so I wouldn't compare them, but I would say in that abrasive, aggressive, very like noisy, right? It's not just the instruments, it's also chaotic on purpose, right? The feedback, the off-key stuff, that's on purpose to sort of make you feel uncomfortable. I really liked it. I think it's cool how they shot it. There's another band that I did, I think Pixel Terror maybe, I can't remember the name of the band, my apologies. I think I'm right though. But they did another shoot where it's like they just had like a storage facility that they had a room that they could shoot in. And I think a lot of artists, you don't like to be constrained by budget. You don't like to be limited in what you can do. But it can often produce much more interesting stuff, right? If you are limited on time, on budget, on location, you have to figure out how to make it interesting without having a lot of fluff, right? You don't have a lot of extra stuff you can throw in there. So you have to, maybe you shoot it different. Maybe you mess with different camera angles. Maybe you mess with it in post and you had all the swirly sort of cuts, right? There are all kinds of things you can do to give it production value, to make it feel interesting. And if you're not forced to do that, sometimes it still looks good, but it's lazier, right? Again, I'm not saying like I hope nobody ever gets a budget, because it is cool to have a budget and be able to execute on things you want to do. But sometimes when you are forced to be creative on a shoestring, you come up with stuff that is actually more interesting, more exciting, and pushes your ability to tell a story. And I think that's cool. I like this. I mentioned at the beginning, it certainly is not going to be for everybody. It's very heavy. It's very abrasive. But I like heavy and I like abrasive, so it works for me. I don't know anything about this group. That's one of my chores after this is I'm going to go look them up and find a little bit more out, see if maybe I can get a show in. I think that would be pretty fun. The energy at a show would be, I think, exceptional. And I'm going to sound like an old person. I like concerts where people are there to fucking like go hard, right? Go get in the pit, mosh, try not to get hurt, try not to hurt anybody else, but go nuts. And I like to see that instead of people who are there to get content, right? I'm sick of that. And I can't imagine, I live stream sometimes to a small audience, we will say. And it's frustrating for me to not get like feedback or commentary on something that I say or a question that I ask. I can't imagine how frustrating it is to be an artist on stage doing stuff that frankly looks ridiculous a lot of the time. If you are doing it at home by yourself, it looks ridiculous. But when you're at a show, people are supposed to feel the energy and they're supposed to move and they're supposed to feed back, right? So you get some of that energy to the stage and the stage feeds it back to the audience and you create this loop. And to not have that, to just have a crowd of people standing there like, my sympathies go out to modern musicians who are trying to connect with an audience. That'll do it, I think, for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And don't talk to cops.